Hello everybody. We're really looking forward to welcoming you on the 22nd within the PFAS partnership in Odense. We're looking forward to an exciting day, and I just wanted to share a little bit about what we're going to do on the day. First of all, I'm happy to share that currently there are more than 50 registered companies in the PFAS partnership. So you're really going into a partnership with a lot of different companies and a lot of different persons where you can draw experiences from each other. First of all, the most important topic for the day is networking. So please make sure that you bring an open mind and willingness to discuss with the other partners of the partnership. For the workshops for the day, we have 2 sessions. The first session is going to be in randomized groups. So you will be put together in groups of approximately 5, 6, 7 people. And then you're going to brainstorm on 4 of the task forces that we're going to look into in the partnership. First of all, there's the education task force. How do we engage our stakeholders, our supply chains, our suppliers with educational material that will help them understand and make it easier for them to help you with the PFAS topic. This is us at DTI that is responsible for that task force. Then there is internal communication. How do you navigate your stakeholders to make the PFAS topic as relevant as possible? And how do you, in general, communicate within your own organization around PFAS? This is Invirke that is responsible for this task force, one of the leading experts within communication within companies. Then we have impact assessments. So how do you put numbers behind, let's say that you wanted to phase out some PFASs. How do you put some actual numbers to that so that your decision makers can make a decision on whether to go with it or not? That's Aperion, based in Brussels, and one of the world's leading experts within impact assessments. And then lastly, we have standardization of language, but also how do we create closed loops for PFAS in general. And that is then Standard that is responsible for that task force. Also one of the world's leading experts within general standardization. So these are the 4 topics or task forces that we're going to focus on that day. Then in session 2, you will choose your own group. So you will choose one of these 4 task forces to be in that group. And then you would make a startup plan for that specific task force. I'll just show you now a little bit about how concretely we're going to do session 1 and session 2. Let's go over here to the board. So in the smaller groups, you'll do brainstorming on these 4 task forces. We have divided each of the task force into 2 quadrants here. So education has a quadrant called quick wins, and education has a quadrant called biggest issues. So quick wins, biggest issues of education, quick wins, biggest issues of internal communication, quick wins and biggest issues on impact assessment, and quick wins and biggest issues on the standardization topic. Then you would each get 5 to 7 minutes to write your own inputs to all of these areas. That could be for education quick wins to gather experiences from members in the partnership. What have they already tried to do and what was working? And the biggest issue could be that the suppliers won't necessarily spend the amount of resources that is necessary, even though how easy we make or how good we make some educational material for them. You would go through all of these to give some input to the task forces. And then once we're done with session 1, well, then all of the inputs to education from all of the groups is going to the session 2 groups on education that you're choosing yourself. So let's go over and see how we'll handle these in session 2. So now we get out into the groups where we have to work a little bit more in depth with each of the task forces. I just want to mention that if you want to participate in more than one of these task forces, please bring as many people from your organization as you need, but you yourself will only be able to attend one of these session 2 workshops. What we're doing here is to take all of the Post-it notes from the previous brainstorm from all of the groups and order them on a graph looking like this, where we have difficulty out on the x-axis and impact value up on the y-axis. So you are going to put all of the Post-it notes on this quadrant to see what is easy to do, what is difficult to do, what brings the most value, and so forth. And once all of these are put up on the board, I want you to consider taking 2 Post-its that is easy to do and has a high value, and 1 Post-it that is difficult to do but also have a high value, and to make an actual plan on how to execute on these topics within the next half year within the partnership. Of course, we'll note everything else down, but let's get some quick wins and let's get started on very concrete topics together. I'm really looking forward to an exciting workshop with you, and see you soon.